Good morning, Dan Delmar in for Elias just for today and tomorrow. Then he is back for, I think, most of the summer. He's going to be hanging around. He just got his big European trip underway, so he'll be back here for much of the summer and on Canada Day as well, I believe. So stay tuned for Elias in the big chair as of Wednesday. I won't be around doing radio too much this summer because I have a young daughter and I'm going to spend some time with her this summer as she is off of school, and we're going to do a little road tripping and a lot of activities, and she's not at school age yet, but not like school. But I want to talk about students and the response from the education minister to the heat wave today. And are we being too delicate with our kids? Can they take the heat? I wonder whether or not, as temperatures rise over time with climate change and so forth, whether or not we're going to have to ask ourselves, do we have sick days? Do we postpone school because of the heat? So currently in Quebec, some schools had already finished classes. And so some are suspending activities for the teachers and whoever was remaining. The only school board, I believe, to still have classes and to cancel would be, I think, the Western School Board, Western Quebec School Board. So that's where the information we have so far. All the others were either already done or are not canceling classes for today, which would have been the last day for many schools as well. Are we being a little too delicate with our kids by considering keeping them at home on some heat wave days, including often in Western Quebec, I suppose? We have a lot of listeners there. I'd love to hear from you whether or not you think that was a good decision. And part of the problem here, number, by the way, 514-790-0800, 514-790-0800. One of the issues here is the minister, I think. He does this thing, Mr. Drainville, where he just expects the bureaucracy to figure it out. He did this sort of with the cell phone issue as well. Instead of issuing clear directives that apply widely to take away that last minute anxiety and that decision from the school boards or even the individual schools, you just pass a policy, right? So you can check the policy, make sure everyone has the same rule, everything's consistent, everything's based in science, and then make your decision. But no, Mr. Drainville said, kind of, it's up to you guys. And he sent out this tweet over the weekend with a couple all caps in there suggesting that people should, make the right decision, whatever it is. So some decided to pull the plug and others didn't. So Western Quebec School Board pulling the plug on what would have been their last day of school, which, frankly, I mean, some kids might find that fun, but others, like grade 6 students, for instance, or if you're graduating, that's not fun. Maybe you want to actually stay on your last day of school and just bear through the heat. What do you think? Are we being too delicate with our kids? Should there be a policy? Do you cancel class if it gets too hot, or maybe even go to hybrid mode? Work from home. 514-790-0800, 514-790-0800. Well, also, there's a few things mixed into today as well. If you want to talk about the Peel pub closing, a lot of great memories there. I'll certainly listen to some memories from that spot. They had various Peel pubs, I think, but another Montreal institution downtown, going the way of the dodo bird. And Tony has some. Tony, you wanted to share a Peel pub memory with us?
Sure. Hi, how are you, Dan? Nice to hear that you're back on the air, and thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to say that. Well, thank you. When I was at McGill, the Peel pub was a going concern. Everybody used to go down there on Thursday, Friday nights. Hockey was great, and it's an icon kind of pub area for McGill people to go to. And I don't think the city of Montreal understands the value of these icon hot spots in Montreal. You had the Hunter's Horn that also closed a while back on Peel. These are all landmarks for the English community that we really spent a lot of time at. And then to hear that they just, fall into disarray and the city doesn't help. And I think one of your guests this morning was mentioned, I don't know if it was Jimmy or yourself, that, the parking issue, the construction issue, the constant problems on that street, especially with the last year with the fire marshals that came in and closed down restaurants.
Right.
All of this, Dan, is negative for the city. And I just wanted to say one quick thing about the schools. I went to school in Maine, and on the hot days, we used to go outside and just have our class outside. And when we were elementary school, I was in Rosemount, Montreal, and St. Leo. I grew up, and we had super hot days. And the teachers always would let us out, and we would do our yayas out in the schoolyard, play soccer, and we'd come back in, and things were pretty manageable because kids are malleable. They're not complainers. They love the heat. And I think you were right in your comment. If you're in grade 6 and going to leave elementary school and they cancel your last day, that was like the greatest day I remember in elementary school. Even though I'm an old guy, I remember those days. Mm-hmm. And you're right. I think we're way too concerned about things that are really not important. Kids love the weather. Kids love the heat. And I think the parents are the ones that don't like the heat.
Good segue, Tony. A great segue. We got to run to get back to our education topic. Are we being too delicate with our kids? One texter on the Dex board, 514-800, says, we're becoming a weak society. Never had days off. School in the 80s for a heat wave. Rebecca works for the Lester B. Pearson School Board. Rebecca, what's your situation today?
Well, good morning. Our last day was on Friday, and maybe these people who are saying they're being too weak should have been in the classroom last week when it hit 31.4 with 25 kids in a classroom. One was throwing up, and all we did was give out ice packages. So, no, we're not being weak. I don't think temperatures used to be like this back in the days. No, really, really bad, and these people go sit in one of those classrooms. One little guy who I adore actually was standing near the fan, and all of a sudden, I got a nice splash of his sweat on me, which was it was hilarious. I loved it, but no, it's really, really bad.
How many classrooms have AC? Do they exist in where you work?
No.
None. Okay.
No. The library does. And we were taking turns to go in there, but it's a really bad situation. And when Lester B says, drink lots of water and put sun protection on, that's not going to help. I'm really sorry. Something needs to be done, and I believe will only get done when something bad happens.
We're talking with a worker at the Lester B. Pearson School Board. Rebecca is here with us, and she was telling us about how one kid was kind of throwing up in class as well. And I have another texter here, Rebecca, who says from someone at LBPSB, says one classroom had 38 degrees. Do you see those kinds of numbers on a regular basis for temps in the classroom?
Well, we see those, but it's fine. I think today was just really bad. Last week it was fine, the 31 point whatever. We can tolerate that, but today is pretty bad, and it's not a good thing. The teachers are going out to buy popsicles for the kids, anything to keep them cool and comfortable.
And today's the last day of school, right?
I guess not for us, but for the Lester B. Pearson, for other schools, for sure, but not for us. No, we've finished on Friday.
So if you had the option, you would have pulled the plug on the school day today?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. This is not normal. Like I said, they walk around and all they say is, we're hot. What are you going to do for them? Here's an ice pack. Here's a popsicle. That's all we were doing.
What do you make of the minister? Are you guys getting enough direction, you think, from the ministry on what to do in these situations?
No, we're just told drink lots of water, put sun protection when going outside.
Okay, so you think they're kind of leaving it all up to you? Should there be a policy maybe just if it goes above, say, 35 degrees in the classroom or outside, you just kind of put the pause on the day?
Yeah, teachers union, there was a certain, I can't recall what it is, but at a certain point, you can walk out of class. Obviously, we're not going to do that, but yeah, we could definitely walk out at a certain temperature. But yeah, no, not a good thing. It's really good that they canceled class today. Right. It's too bad. It's the last day, but what are we going to do about it? It's health before anything. Even the BO, it's really bad.
Can't imagine. Really bad. And are you on your way to pick up popsicles now or something?
No, I'm done. I'm done. No more popsicles.
Very good. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks for calling in. Have a good summer.
Thank you.
All right, 514-790-0800. Are we being too delicate with our kids? Cindy is in the West Island. Cindy, your thoughts?
Hi, good morning, Dan. I just wanted to say I think that's wonderful that the teachers are buying popsicles for the students. That's excellent.
Out of their own pocket, I assume.
Yes, I assume as well, yeah. That's what makes it so kind. I'm calling because I used to be in the military, so a veteran now, and even the Department of National Defense would send us home. The National Defense sends soldiers home from their garrisons when the humidex rises above 30-something degrees. I can't remember now, but I believe it was mid-30s, if not the early 30 degrees in the humidex value. And so it's really not healthy for anybody, child or adult. That's really all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, good point. So it's not a sort of a bubble wrapping kids kind of situation in this case, certainly.
No, I certainly don't believe that's true. No, I mean, children, I mean, are they the best barometer for their health?
Mm-hmm.
They enjoy what's going on, of course, but it's up to the adults. And, as I said, even the military shuts down when the humidex gets too high. So I don't think it's bubble wrapping our children to take care of them.
Thanks,
Cindy.
Cindy.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Thanks for your service as well. Chris is in the Eastern Townships. Chris, your thoughts?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm just curious. If we could put a man on the moon, why can't we put air conditioning in classrooms?
Of course we can. No one wants to, Chris. They don't. It's expensive. It costs a lot of money.
Well, every building and skyscraper on the planet has it. Why can't our kids have it in school? And if not, then what about a morning half day? Start in the morning. Let them go home and burn their butts on the metal slide.
Now you're thinking, why not just on these days? Don't waste a school day. Just end it by noon, right? Start earlier. But then again, you're going to get parents saying, well, that's going to throw off my schedule and everything. And
well, they can't have it both ways.
True. All right. Good points, Chris. Thanks very much.
All right. Have a good one.
Let's end with Raymond. Actually, we have a few more minutes. 514-790-0800, 790-0800. Are we being too delicate with the kids by suggesting some schools should be closed for heat days, Raymond?
No, actually, I work in construction, and we have CNESST workplace health and safety guidelines, which would have shut down certain construction sites on days like today. Yet kids are forced to endure more than what workers are forced.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, right away we got texts saying, well, let's not coddle our kids. But obviously, our kids are a lot more vulnerable than the working public, than construction workers, than soldiers. Maybe we should be taking this more seriously.
100%.
All right. Thanks very much, Raymond. 514-790-0800. We also have the Peel Pub story in the background as well. I'll let that go for now and for the rest of the show. Your memories of the Peel Pub. Lola, I know you're not from around here. Not sure if you have any memories of Peel Pub. It's the bogan spot in your parlance. That's where the bogans go. And Dean, is that a British expression or Australian? I think it's Australian.
A bogan spot, you said?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it might be British.
Like for heavy drinking, kind of, bogans. Dean, Peel Pub, any memories?
I've never been.
No, really, never been.
I'm not the going out type. I'm the staying in type. So
yeah, fair. There was one of the things that came up early this morning with Ken and Mitch was that there were persistent rumors over the years about how the pub, previous ownership, long time ago, how the pub was able to deliver such cheap beer. I wonder if anyone has any evidence or any eyewitness accounts of how the Peel Pub was able to maintain such rock bottom consistent prices throughout its history since the 60s, early 60s. Really, it was a hotspot and it had multiple locations at one point. And I think they were up. They were further. Yeah, they were up higher on Peel, above St. Catherine at one point, and then moved and went lower down. And now they're calling it quits after many years. So, wondering if you have any Peel Pub memories. Feel free to call in 514-790-0800 or text in throughout the show. We'll air some Peel Pub memories throughout the program and talking about school as well and whether or not to have heat days. Gary is in beautiful Mourne Heights. Gary, what are your thoughts today?
I remember writing an exam in June. You just go to a school near Peanut Boulevard, right near the Peanuts here. Basically, it was Catholic schools weren't air conditioned back then. I don't know if they are now, but nothing was air conditioned back then. We wrote exams in June. The temperature had to be in the 80s. We opened the window. That was it.
That was it, eh? But the temperatures are rising. Don't forget. I mean, temperatures are going up, so it's not like it was.
So 80s, no matter what.
All right. Thanks, Gary.
Take care.
Lastly, we go to Stephen. Now, Stephen, where are you calling from?
Texas.
Get out of here, Stephen. Get out of town. Where in Texas?
I'm in the middle in the piney woods near nothing. Tyler, Freeport, Nacogdoches. Best way to say is 200 miles from Freeport, 200 miles from Dallas, 200 miles from Houston.
Nice.
Stick a pin in there, I'm close to it.
Oh, that's lovely. And how, are you listening to us on shortwave, or how are you getting CJD?
Actually, when the coronavirus started, I started going through the alphabet till I found a Canadian radio station who would tell me how y'all were handling the virus.
Wow.
And I never left. I got as far as CJAA, no, AB, no, AC. Oh, AD, well, just stay right here. And I've been there with y'all for 5 years now.
Oh, my, Stephen. Well, thank you so much for staying with us. We appreciate that. You know, we try to be fair-minded but bold at the same time here at CJAD. And the fact that you would stick with us when you have so many talk radio options in the heart of Texas is a great honor.
Not really, sir. I have basically the same option in Texas. It is syndicated, and I don't have many live people doing anything like y'all do.
Wow. Well, thanks for joining us.
Like I told the wife the other day, has Montreal became our hometown radio station? She said, yeah. But I called to tell you I feel your pain.
Good. What's it like there today?
I'm going to be in the 90s with a humidity just about as high. I'm going to be you.
Good. I mean,
basically go stand outside and whistle Yellow Rose of Texas, and you can be a Texan today. It's going to be that darn hot and humid and yucky.
Excellent. Yeah, we're going to feel like a Texan today. And have you been to Montreal, by the way?
No, sir. The closest I've ever got was I got to walk across the Rainbow Bridge and look at the falls from the other side.
Wow.
Me and the wife had passports. The kids didn't. We went for a little walk in Canada, but I'm headed back your way as fast as I can get a car to go there.
Well, Stephen, come up one time, and we'd be happy to show you around, give you a tour of the studio, and thanks for listening in. It's a real honor when we get listeners from so far away.
So y'all stay cool.
Take care. There's Stephen in the heart of Texas. Amazing.